Alright, so now we're ready to install the blanks that we've trimmed down onto the pen mandrel. The instructions on this one, you get the bushing kit that comes with it. This one comes with 3 bushings. So it says to put a bushing on there, then your blank. And I'm putting this in order where the blank was cut in the middle. That way the grain will match. So then you put your center bushing. Then you put your other blank. Then our last bushing. Then we bring the mandrel saber over. Tighten up our tailstock. There we go. Alright, now we can adjust our This is definitely one of the downfalls I've noticed by working with this lathe, is how far away the tool rest is from my piece when we're doing pins. This is an old Craftsman vise. Basically they used, kind of designed it to do spindles with, so they'd be a little, bring it in closer to your tool wrist. But okay, so for this one, basically I'm just going to use the round carbide tool. I'll kind of show you what this looks like on the lathe. So this is what it looks like once it's on there. So you have pen mandrel, bushing, blank, bushing, blank, and another bushing, and then the mandrel saber. So basically when you're turning the pen, these bushings is your gauge. So you turn the wood down to match that bushing, and then when you assemble the pen, everything lines up properly. The way I like to do it is I like to bring the pen or the wood blank just a little bit above the bushing and then sand it flush to the bushing. That way I can make sure I got a nice smooth finish and I can have everything flush to the... This will be my first one that actually uses 2 blanks. The pens I've done in the past have all been a single blank pen. But I'm still going to use the same similar shape as I did with the last pen. So I'm going to taper it towards this bushing, and it'll be a little bit wider in the middle, and then I'll taper it to the bushing. The same here, I'll taper it to this bushing, be a little bit wider in the middle, and then taper it back to that bushing. So we'll get to turning, and we'll show you what it looks like when we're done. So I've got it rounded down. As you can tell, it's a big difference from where we started with the pen blank. Still got a little bit too much of a lip there, but we're getting there. So we'll take nice easy cuts and get it down where we need to be. Okay. Now we're just a little bit proud of the bushing, which is where I want to be before I start sanding. So. Okay. Notice between each grits, I'll stop the lathe, just kind of check it. Yep, we're down there to where we need to be. And then the other thing you need to do when you're sanding is every so often you need to stop it, sand it with the grain, and manually turn it, because if you don't, you'll have circles in it where you're sanding. So. here's our last one. This will take us, basically what I'm going through is I'm going through 150, 240, 320, 400, and 600 grits. So this will be my last sanding for this one. I'm not sure if it picks up on the camera or not, but as I rotate this around, you can get a pretty good look at the grain all the way around there. Once I clean that up a little bit, and then I'll switch over to my finish. We're going to finish this with some Aussie oil also. So I'm going to clean it up real quick, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like before I put it on. I got the dust cleaned off of the pen itself, and we'll kind of show you a little bit. You can kind of see in here the grain a lot more of the grain now, and the smoothness of it. It's kind of like glass now. So we'll seal this up with some Aussie oil. This is what I use, and we're going to use it as a friction rub. So the way I'm going to do it is, first off, you got to shake it up to get everything mixed up, because it kind of settles every time. A little bit on the towel, and I'm going to start it by doing just like we did earlier. And then I'll actually turn it on and finish sanding it, or finishing it. Basically what I'm looking for now is, as far as the friction part of the finish is concerned, I want my finger to kind of heat up on this piece of t-shirt. Once my finger kind of starts to heat up a little bit, then there's enough heat there with the friction to cause that finish to soak in there. Alright, so there's what one coat of the Aussie oil finish looks like on there. And that's friction polished in. Since the person that asked about this pen didn't really specify when they asked to order one whether or not it would be a daily use or not, so just for that, I'm going to go ahead and I'll give it a chance to sit there while I clean up the rest of this sawdust, and then I'll go back and apply a second coat on this one. Alright, so we got the blade cleaned up now with all the sawdust out of the way. We're going to go ahead and add us a second coat of this Aussie oil to this. I'll do it the same way. Got everything on there, then we'll actually turn it on to polish it with the friction. said, with this stuff, you can definitely tell when it starts kind of warming your hand up, especially on a day like today. It's I think it might have hit 30 something around here today, so it's kind of chilly. And so this is what the final product of the blanks will look like. I'll kind of roll it around here so you can kind of get a little bit of, and the grains matched up pretty decent. Seems like once I turned it down, this one here, the one side got a little bit darker, but it also may have been, I may not have had them exactly turned right. They are in the correct order at least. So now from there, what we got to do is actually take them out and assemble the pen. So when you get the pen kit, it comes with all the parts that you need. The only difference is on this one, instead of using this pen clip, I'm actually going to use a medical pen clip. So okay. So kind of just to show you a little bit of the difference between the two. This would be the clip that actually come in the pen kit. And this one here was purchased separately. And this is the one that we're going to go with here. It is the, I'm not exactly sure how to say that word, is caduceus or something like that. But basically, like when nurses, so like LPNs and RNs, when they do their penning ceremony, when they get their graduation ceremony, their pen actually has this symbol on it, and then it says LPN or RN there with it. So alright, so we get our pen tube, our center ring, the end of the pen there, and the rest of the parts here. Hold on, there's another little bitty part here. Don't want to lose it. So basically, we just go to the instructions, and then we have the diagram that shows us how to assemble the pen. So, alright, so basically everything just kind of pushes together. So you bring that first piece out, and you put in the tip in there. They make a pen assembly vise, basically. I'm just starting doing pens, so haven't really done enough of them to require it yet. So what I use instead, I'll be right back, because it's something that I own already, is this little quick grip clamp. And all you have to do is just kind of line it up and then squeeze, and you'll hear it kind of pop in, and then you're done. So see, it's fitting in there and everything's lined up like it's supposed to. So now from there, we get this, and it says to look for this little indentation mark, and it was facing me so that it goes towards the end of the pen. Okay, so we put that in there. Alright, so then we put our centering on there. Got it. Then we do this up. Take that bushing off. Need this one. Slide that on there. Like that. Then we put our clip. And our cap. Just want to make sure the clip is square on there, because the only thing holding the clip to our pen is that cap. So get it on the top. There we go. Just a little bit farther. There, right? And you can kind of feel it when it finally gives in. Now you can see how it's flush at the top. Everything matches up nice on our thing. There's our completed pen. So now you guys have seen that from start to finish. So, and there you have it.
Put it up against your shirt, that way they can see it a lot better. Here we go.
Alright, well, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share on social media with all your family and friends, and we'll see you on the next one.